The next one is described as a surfer, and it's described as shifting and flexible. The surfer adopts multiple identities to fit multiple situations. A big example of this is how gay men navigate friendships in the workplace and how they surf between subjects of gender, sexuality, and friendship that create new possibilities for identity. Nick Rumens, who's conducting this study, evaluated how male friendships as non-sexual but put constraints on the possibilities for sexual connections. Elements of homosexuality have been emphasized with the struggle for gay men to establish friendships out of fear of rejection, miscommunications, and a view that homosexuality is deviant or diseased. In response to this, gay men have established friendships with other gay men. The storyteller has characteristics that build a meaningful identity by creating a story of self that is coherent across time. The storyteller image gives the individual freedom to craft their own stories. For example, a study was done on Caribbean immigrants who created their stories in order to make sense of their organizational experiences. They're able to revise, create, and reposition themselves within their workplace communication, and therefore are able to achieve the American dream, as it be. They also create a more realistic version of that story for themselves, in which they highlighted hard work, educational opportunities on a larger scale than where they originated from. A specific example given when a worker was unfairly targeted for questioning in regards to missing office cash. In response, she told the story of how she was a hard worker, loyal to the company, and had integrity. A strategist is considered the most goal-oriented in regards to establishing self. A strategist is similar to a surfer in the sense that they have multiple identities, yet they do this by observing role models and experimenting with different selves and observing these results against the standards set forth by the organization. In short, a strategist produces a synthesis between authenticity and themselves as an individual and adapting to the organization. For example, American educators worked with local partners to spread awareness about AIDS and HIV in Nairobi. Among the personnel were gay men who are deeply invested in the HIV epidemic in Africa. However, in Kenya, homosexuality is illegal and gay men are beaten and then executed. For these Americans, they had to effectively hide their homosexuality, therefore smothering a large part of their identity. The stencil image is characterized by being shaped by powerful discourses. They conform to the template identity set forth by the organization, are fixed, rigid, and inflexible. Discourses of aging is a large characteristic of this image, and those older employees are the ones who tend to gravitate towards a stencil identity. And finally, the soldier image willingly embraces the organization's preferred identity. This is different from the stencil image in the sense that they are not necessarily forced into the identity provided, but instead choose to do so of their own accord. The soldier image embraces identifying with the social unit and belonging to something bigger than themselves. Examples of this image are included with occupations that enforce a uniform to identify with the organization, and employees conform to this willingly. The military, police force, first responders, theme park employees, chain restaurant servers apply to this image.